the top 20 games that I've ever played. It's like it is it's really interesting because there's a lot of games that it's like I could theoretically include, um but it's like there's a lot of games that it's like I didn't like I said before, I didn't want overlapping. It's like there was a lot of games that's like I might be blanking on that I've played years ago. There's a lot of actually that is true. There was a lot of games from years ago that I'm just blanking on. Because I remember there was a game on the Game Boy Advance, I believe, that I played, and it was my brother's game, and I forget what it's called, but I had so many fond memories of it, and it was really fun to play. And it's like I don't remember what it's called, but it was one of the funnest games I played as a kid because it was one of the only games that I played as a kid. Um, Especially when I was like probably like 7, 8 years old, like almost 20 years ago now, which is crazy. But it's like I might as well just talk about it because it's like Seek and Destroy. I kind of already started like a little like outline of it. It's basically a game where war breaks out between three nations. You play as tanks and you like go from like level to level, like trying to battle your way through it. It kind of had a really unique campaign mode. It's like I really had a lot of fun with it, especially with my brother because my brother and I used to play games together a lot, and it's I had such a fun time with a lot of games. And it's like I just loved it, and it's like I wish I could go back and play it again. I have to break out my PlayStation 2 and I have to find the actual game itself. I don't think I have the original copy that I have anymore. So I probably would have to buy it like on eBay or Amazon or something. But if I could, I would play it for the channel just because I had such a fun time with it. And it got horribly reviewed. It was awful. It was just bad. But I had such a fun time with it. It was so great. I just love like fun action like based games. It's like yeah, if there's a lot of like combat and it's like the pacing is horrible or whatever, it might be really bad, but it's like a game like Seek and Destroy from 23 years ago, it's like it's ahead of its time in my opinion. It's like it was so great. I don't know what other people were thinking when it's like, oh, this game is bad. It's because it's like I can look it up right now. It's like Seek and Destroy um got horribly reviewed, like 63% Metacritic, 6.5 out of 10. It's like, yeah, it was horrible. It's like people did not like the game at all. And it's like I liked it a lot. And then it's like a game like Battle for Bikini Bottom, which had a remake a couple years ago. It's like I got that game, I believe, for my 6th birthday. I think it was 2004. My sister and her boyfriend at the time um got it for me. We went to a Dairy Queen for my birthday and they gifted it to me and I was like, "Oh, that's fun." It's like I didn't really care for SpongeBob at the time. I would watch it every so often. So like whenever it came on TV or something, but it's like I didn't even realize there were any video games on it. So it's like I was like, "Oh, what's this? I don't even know what this is." So like, I haven't seen a commercial for it. I don't remember seeing a commercial for it. Um, but when I played it, it was like one of the greatest games ever because it was like it was really fun platforming. I love the the collectibles and like all the things. And it's like the story was really unique because it's like robots are attacking and it's like you have to like basically save the world basically. And it's like it had really fun boss fights and then it was so revered and it was so like praised for the I don't know if revered is the right word, but it was praised for being what it was. It's like yeah, IGN kind of poorly reviewed it and it was like really bad, but it's like it was good enough to warrant a remake of it or a remaster of it 17 years later. So it's like I think it deserves a spot in my top 20 games. It's like I don't know which version is better just because I haven't played the original in so long. It's like it's been like at least 10 to 15 years since I played the original. But I played the remake last year or the year before, I don't remember. Um and it still holds up. It still holds up. It's really fun. It's like, yeah, it's like I think the remake might be a little bit worse just because of like it kind of removed a lot of the charm behind it. Um, but I liked it for what it was. It was really fun. Um, I think that um I I I don't know if the well, I was about to say I don't know if the Cosmic Shake was kind of in a similar vein to it, but I know that the SpongeBob movie game, which I also played as a kid, was not nearly as good. It was worse. It was not as fun, but it was by the same developers. So it's like I think they did what they could with it, with the source material, but it kind of was just a lot of like weird segments and a weird pacing. I didn't like it as much. But I still love Battle for Bikini Bottom. It still holds up. It's really unfortunate that in my top 10 highlight video, I was going to include Battle for Bikini Bottom, the playthrough that I did. But I stupidly deleted the VODs off of my PC, and I tried downloading it on my current PC, and the every single time I did it, it was like, "Oh, this video is too long," and I'm like, "Well, what is the point of having a downloader if I can't use it for any video that I want?" Granted, I understand that it's like, oh, there might be limitations that you have to put on certain applications to work properly, but it's like, come on. It's like at least like if it should be more a case of like how many like hours of video I can download versus how many videos I can do per day. But as I understand it, but anyways, moving on, Resident Evil 2 remake. I don't really have much to say about this just because it's like it's not even in my top 10 games that I've played. It's not even in my top 20 playthroughs that I've done for the main channel, but it's like I liked the horror elements of it. I think this was my first Resident Evil game too. Actually, that's not true. Resident Evil 7, I believe, is my first Resident Evil game that I played, but Resident Evil 2 is really great. I didn't play the original that came out in 1998 because I was born in 1998 and I wasn't old enough to even play a game like that. And I don't think my parents at the time would have even bought it for me, even if I was playing games at that age, anyways. Because I did get a couple games from the late 90s. I think that my brother and my sister were playing, and that's why I eventually played them myself. But going back to like Battle for Bikini Bottom, it was one of the very first games I ever got for like my birthday that I remember. But it's like Resident Evil 2, the remake version, really stands the test of time. And it's really great for being a remake. But I don't hold any nostalgia for it because it's like I said, I didn't play the original when it came out 27 years ago at this point. Um, but I really enjoyed it for what it was. It's like the visuals were really on point. It's like the playthrough that I did on it could have been better because when I played it for the channels, I was having a lot of issues with my PC and it wasn't recording properly and it was just really bad. Um, but I think it was really great. I think it might be one of the better Resident Evil games. Especially because of Mr. X, because he was the real fear factor in that game. It's like there's a lot of games that are kind of like eerie or kind of sinister, but it's like they're kind of like over the top. But Mr. X was like a looming force to be reckoned with. I think that at the very end of the game, it kind of went to that over the top, like out there kind of territory, where it's like, oh, he's hulking up, but everything else about the game is really great. It's like the ambiance is phenomenal in that game. It's so it's so unique in its own way. It's like I think that I think it's one of, like I said, one of the better Resident Evil games, one of the better horror games that I've played. Um, I think seven might still hold my favorite spot, just because seven is the very first game that I 100% completed. Like got every single thing. It's like I didn't do any of the DLC stuff. Well, I did do some of the DLC stuff when I first played it, but the main game itself, I got every single document, I got every single thing in that game. But I'll get to the main channel playthrough eventually. It's like I said, um it's coming. Like when I was talking about like pulling my top 20 playthroughs before, it's like there was Resident Evil 7 and Village coming up, but that'll come later in the year. Right now I'm trying to get through Resident Evil 4. Um, and once I'm done with that, then I'll move on to Resident Evil 7. I'm gonna skip 5 and 6 just because I've never played 5 and 6, and those are horrible games from what I've heard. And I don't want to deal with it. It's like I might play it for the VOD channel in my own free time. But for now, I'm going to stick to what I know, stick to what I like, um, and go from there. So, anyways, moving on to Crash Bandicoot Warped. This game was my childhood. When the video comes out later in the year, starting I believe in June or July, I forget. I think it's July that the Crash Bandicoot trilogy is going to start. Um, I think Warped is going to be like August or September. Um, but Crash Bandicoot Warped is my favorite Crash game that I've ever played, and I played the original when I was a kid a lot. It was one of the very first games that I played on the PS1. Um, and I love that game to death. It's like I did everything in that game. I got all the time trial relics, I got all the gems, I got everything in that game, and I did it multiple times. And it was so great for what it was because it was kind of, although it wasn't like revolutionary, it was like kind of the end of an era for Naughty Dog. They did eventually make Crash Team Racing afterwards, but then they were kind of done with it. They kind of did Crash Team Racing as like out of like for just for the sake of it. It's like, oh, like we need to make another Crash game, might as well make it a racing game, kind of a Mario Kart s type thing, because it's like obligatory basically. It's mandatory at that point. And then they kind of moved on and they made, I believe, uh was it Jack and Daxter? I don't remember. They made another platformer afterwards, but and then they moved on to like Uncharted, The Last of Us, and all that stuff. So, but Crash Bandicoot Warped was my one of my favorite games that I played as a kid. And then when they remade it for the PS4 in the Insane trilogy, it really like it still holds up. It still holds up. They did a really great job with it. It's like granted they could have made the visuals and the voices a little bit more closer to the original, but for what they did with what they had, they did a really great job at it. I think that they could have I think they knocked it out of the park. So it's like I think that if they make another Crash game, I'm really hoping that they continue to do it. It's like afterwards they Crash 4 It's About Time, which I played earlier today. Um and I'm still playing through. It's like it's not my favorite Crash game, but it's up there. It's like I think in the order of the of the quote unquote four main like timelines like games now, because now the like PS2 games are kind of obsolete on it, is Crash 4, Crash 3, Crash 2, Crash 1. Crash 1 is my least favorite out of everything because it was kind of unnecessarily difficult. It's like Crash 2 kind of flipped everything on its head with all of the collecting stuff. And then Crash 3 kind of tied everything together in a nice little bow. And then Crash 4 is a lot more accessible. It has a lot more accessibility. It has a lot more like things to do, a lot of things to collect. It has a lot of like, but it also has a lot of filler in it. It has a lot of extra stuff to do that kind of bloats the game. It kind of extends the runtime, and that's why it's not my favorite game. It's just there's too much to do in that game, but it's still a really great game for the story elements of that game. It's like I like the story elements a lot, and like if you're just trying to get from point A to point B, it's like from start to finish, great game. But if you're trying to go for 100% completion or even 106% completion or whatever the total is, it's a slog fest. It's horrible. So it's like Crash Bandicoot Warp though, nailed it on the head. But anyways, moving on. Number 16, Tony Hawk's Underground. This game was my jam. It was my jam every single day. It's like I played this game religiously. It's like I don't even think I finished the game because I was just restarting it over and over because I just wanted to see the beginning portions of it over and over and over. I was playing this game every day of the week when I wasn't in school. It's like I was playing it every single time I had free time in the evening hours, on the weekends, whatever. But the only reason why it's like higher, like up on the list, like at number 16 rather than like in my top 10, is because I never finished it and I can't for the life of me get my copy to work. And like I want to play this game again. I'm hoping that they remake it because now they're remaking the Tony Hawk original like games. Like they remade 1 and 2 and then they're remaking 3 and 4. I'm hoping that they make a Tony Hawk's Underground remake. I'm praying because that's such a great game. I love this game to death. It was fun. The story was really fun. It's like the characters were really like really easy to hate. It's like the villain, Eric. I believe Eric Sparrow is his name. It's like he was a great villain for the time. It's like I don't know how they even wrote him as a villain because at first it's like, oh, he's our best friend or whatever, and then he kind of uses us and he kind of gets us thrown in jail and everything. It was awesome. It's like it was one of like I think it was one of the very first like quote unquote mature games because I believe it was rated T for teen. Um but I don't remember. Let me check. Yeah, T for teen. That's what I figured. And I was a kid at the time, so I was like, "Oh wow, this is crazy how they're getting away with this stuff." Because I believe Tony Hawk's 1 and 2, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2 were rated E for 10 and up or something. I don't know, but I was 5 years old when this game came out, and I was playing this game a ton. It was so fun. I want to go back and revisit it if I ever get the chance to. I'm hoping that they remake it because if they remake it, I would be first in line to play this game. I would play it every day of my life, going forward. It's so great. It's so great. But since I haven't played it in a while, it's higher up on the list. Um, so, anyways, moving on because now I'm falling behind. It's been, what, 45 minutes since I started this stream, and I haven't even gotten to my project. I'm probably not even going to get to the project. This might be a podcast episode at this point um, that I might go off and edit because I'm also recording this locally. Um, but moving on, Amori. when I played this for the main channel, I was not satisfied with it because I was having a lot of stream issues. I was having a lot of lagging issues. But when I played the game for the first time, a couple years ago, I was I fell in love with the game. I love the how they tackled certain topics like depression, anxiety, fear, like all the elements that is in a child's mind that kind of warps the world in a way, and like the childlike wonder of like trying to escape into the imagination, into the quote unquote headspace. It's like I think that it's one of the more unique RPGs. I don't. Okay, I was about to say I don't think Deltarune is in it, but I knew Undertale was on my list. But Amori was like one of the very first like RPGs that I played, or one of the first games in general that I played that kind of handled depression and anxiety in like a really unique way. And it was really scary when I first played it because I was like, holy shit, what is going on? Where it's like the story kind of turned dark and it kind of turned it on its head. And I didn't realize at the time it was a horror game until I saw Hail Mary and I was like, oh Jesus Christ, what the hell is happening? So it's like I really like this game a lot. I tried revisiting it about 2 years ago, maybe a year ago. I don't remember. I think it actually was March 2024. I tried revisiting it. I did one episode, and then I was like, okay, I'm not gonna play through the entire game again. Because I was gonna originally do the Hikikomori, I believe is what it's pronounced. The Hikikomori route. It's the extra route where you don't go outside and you don't talk to your friends throughout the last period of the game. Um, because that unlocked a lot of extra content. Like it unlocked extra bosses and it unlocked extra like areas, and it did a lot more. But I eventually I never got around to it just because I was so busy and I was looking for a job and I didn't have time to actually sit down and stream. Plus, when I eventually had internet issues, I wasn't able to stream, and that I wanted to stream the game just to see what the extra route had in store. But it's like I just eventually said the original playthrough is good enough. It did well enough for what it was, so I was like I was gonna leave it. But it's still a really phenomenal game. It still holds up, and I think the developer, although had a lot of flaws in the beginning, I think that the final product was really great for what it was. And I'm hoping that they make another game someday. Hopefully, it doesn't take too long if they decide to. But if they don't, I'm content with what they had with Amori. But anyways, moving on to Kingdom Hearts 2, number 14. Like I was saying before, it's like Kingdom Hearts 2 is like one of the first like Kingdom Hearts games that I played. I played the original. I think the original I did not own like myself. I think I like rented it from like a GameStop or something. I don't remember. But Kingdom Hearts 2 was one of the very first games I played, and I originally had no idea it was a Disney game. No idea. Had no idea. I just got it into my possession. I was like, oh, I'm gonna play this game. It looked really fun. Um, and wow, what a game it is. I think it's probably my favorite Kingdom Hearts game. If if Kingdom Hearts 3 is not my favorite, Kingdom Hearts 2 is my favorite. Just because it did everything right. It did all the combat right, it did the pacing right. It's like I wasn't a big fan of like going back and like revisiting it. And it's like with how the bosses worked, it's like Kingdom Hearts 2 had some of the hardest boss fights I've ever done for no reason. Because it's like up until like a certain point in the game, it was kind of like a cakewalk. It's like if you're not too underleveled, it can be really easy to get through. But then for some reason, just smack dab in the middle of the game, they just put an unnecessarily hard boss in there. I don't know why. I don't know why they just made it so difficult. But it's like when I was playing through it for the main channel, it took me hours to get him defeated. It took me hours to actually get through it, and I'm like, why is this so difficult? So eventually, I just took like a month-long break, and I'm like, why is this so difficult? I'm getting so frustrated for no reason. It's like I don't know what I'm doing wrong. So I ended up doing a ton of research just to figure out how to actually continue through this game because I had no idea what I was doing. I was just panicking and getting frustrated. But eventually I just like decided like I'm just gonna take a break. I'll come back to it and get when I come back, hopefully I can get through it. And I got through it in like 30 minutes. And I'm like, why was that so difficult? But eventually got through it, moved on, finished the game, and although the last like segments were really long and like the kind of filler content, it's like it kind of answered a lot from the first game and kind of earlier in the game. Um, a lot of the questions I had, and then it's like it kind of, but it also brought up a lot of questions that were answered in follow up games um like Birth by Sleep, and then eventually Kingdom Hearts 3. And it's like from what I remember, Kingdom Hearts 2 came after Chain of Memories, which I never played on the I believe the what was it? Was it the DS? The GameCube? I'm not entirely sure. But it was one of those other consoles. I never played it because I didn't even know it existed until like years later. And then Kingdom Hearts 2 came out, and then I believe Birth by Sleep came out after that. Or maybe it was recoded or 358 over 2 days. I don't remember. But it's like the next like quote unquote mainline series, or like the kind of in the timeline was Dream Drop Distance, which I played on the 3DS when it came out, and I 100% completed that game. Like I said earlier in this stream, and I was like, I didn't really understand what the whole timeline was. I didn't even know Birth by Sleep existed until years later. So I missed out on a lot of games. But Kingdom Hearts 2 and then Kingdom Hearts 3 came out. And it's like Kingdom Hearts 2 was my favorite out of the entire series that I played because I played through all the games, well, quote unquote all the games on the PS3 when the 1.5 2.5 collection came out. And I never finished any of them just because they were really long and I didn't really want to play through a lot of games at that time. But then they re-released it on the PS4, and I played through. I think I played through halfway through Birth by Sleep. I played through 0.2. I replayed Kingdom Hearts 1 a little bit, and then I just didn't touch Kingdom Hearts 2. I think maybe I did touch Kingdom Hearts 2. I remember playing through a little bit of it, but then Kingdom Hearts 3 came out. I played through that. Through all, I got the 100% completion on that. I never played Melody of Memory, and then Kingdom Hearts 4 is in development. So there's a lot of games, but Kingdom Hearts 2 was my first, and it was great, and it still holds up to this day. But anyways, that was a long tangent. Moving on, number 13, The Messenger from 2018. This game is phenomenal. The only downside of it is Gerard, the completionist, is its number one fan, and he's a really bad person. Um, and that kind of soiled the experience because in my original playthrough that I did on it, for the channel, I was talking about Gerard, saying like, "Oh, I watched him play this," and I'm like, "That's what made me get the game." And eventually it came out that he was a bad person. I'm like, oh, great, fantastic. Kind of soils the experience a little bit. But for what the game was, it was a really funny game, and it was really fun to play. And I really had a great time with it, especially exploring everything. I went off and I bought it for the PS4 because I didn't have good internet at the time. So I was like, okay, so I'm gonna have to just download the game through mobile data on my PS4. And when I played through that, I got up into the general, the in the underworld boss, and I just could not beat him for the life of me. This was like, I believe, 2021, 2022. I believe like October or November. I don't remember at this point. It was a couple years ago at this point. But I eventually stopped playing through it just because I was getting frustrated. And then I came back and I started playing through games for the main channel. And the um, the playthrough that I did had a lot of problems with it, with the stream quality, because at the when I was playing through most of the games in 2022 for the channel, I was having a lot of internet issues, a lot of stream issues, and I was like, I'm not satisfied with this. So eventually I revisited it when my internet situation was a little bit better, and I still think it holds up. And eventually I played Sea of Stars, which is one of the more like better games that I play. I don't think it's in my top 20 video games of all time. The only reason why I included The Messenger is because I forget who the developers are now. Oh, Sabotage Studio. That's what it is. I was blanking on the developer name. Sabotage Studio knocked The Messenger out of the park, and then they made a whole universe on it. With Sea of Stars, The Messenger, coming years afterwards. Sea of Stars being a prequel, and then they're making free DLC for this game, for Sea of Stars, and they made free DLC for The Messenger as well. Picnic Panic, I believe. I never played Picnic Panic for the channel. I was eventually going to in my revisitation playthrough, but I eventually stopped doing it just because I didn't have time to continue that playthrough, and I was scheduling a lot of games out, and a lot of games kind of conflicted with one another. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna play through the base game itself and end it there. But man, what a game it was! It was a really funny commentary, coming from the shopkeeper, who is in my top 5 video game characters of all time. It's like, he's hilarious, and he has a lot of great stories, and he has a lot of good meta commentary about like what it means to make a really great game, and it's just fantastic writing. It's awesome. I think that they nailed the game and its aesthetics. It was a really great callback to Ninja Gaiden, which I never played, but from what I've heard, it was a really great game. And I think that they nailed the homage to it. Just a phenomenal game all around. Okay, I'm just gonna move on from that because I've just realized I've been going for an hour and I haven't gotten really anything done. I was originally gonna edit a project, but now I don't really want to. I just want to talk about games. So anyways, moving on. Number 12, Spyro, Year of the Dragon. This is a pattern from before with Crash Bandicoot Warped, where it's the third game in the trilogy of a platformer that I played as a kid. But this is my favorite platformer from the PS1, just because it was so fun to play, and it's like it kind of improved on itself from the previous games, because I played Spyro 1, I played Spyro 2, and then it's Spyro 3. But Spyro 3 holds a special place in my heart because I did everything in this game multiple times. I played this game religiously. It was so fun because it's like all the characters and the things to do and the boss fights and everything was so great. It kind of improved upon itself in the previous iterations. And it's really sad to me because this was the last game that Insomniac made in the series, because afterwards they kind of, all the Spyro games kind of went really, really sour, and it was not really as great. It's like the Legend of Spyro games were great. I like those games a lot. It's like, yeah, it was not a collectathon. It wasn't a platformer. It was kind of like a broody, like, action beat 'em up game. But I have a lot of fond memories of it. I played through all of the games in that trilogy. It was so fun. I hope that they re-release it someday for the PS4 or the PS5 or something. They probably never will. But Spyro Year of the Dragon, I I played recently for the channel, which is coming out in a couple months on the main channel. Um, I like these. I like this game a lot. It's like Spyro 3 in the Reignited trilogy had the most issues. I will give it that, but it's still really fun to play. It's like I like the game a lot. It, like I said, the 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 gameplay, the bosses, like the visuals were all phenomenal. I like this game a lot. It still holds up. The remake was great. I like this game a lot. But anyways, moving on. Final Fantasy 12 from 2006 and the re-release in 2017. I believe it's 2017 that the Zodiac Age came out. Um, I will eventually play this for the channel, but I have a lot of other series going on. I tried playing through it about a year ago or so, maybe 2 years ago, for the VOD channel. Um, and I was having a lot of issues getting it running, and then the like it was lagging really bad. I only got about 30 to 45 minutes into it. It was really rough for what it was, but I played this game with my brother when it first came out, and I played it so much that it's like I did everything in the game, and it took me like I remember it took me hours. No, it took me days to actually beat like the super boss of the game, Yzmat. It took me days of like playing through it, pausing, walking away, taking a break, trying to figure out what I'm supposed to do, looking up guides online, seeing what I'm supposed to do because it was so hard as like a like 8 year old 9 year old kid. It's like I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know how to beat him. So I was like, oh, okay. So eventually they made a re-release, and I played through that on the PS4. I got the deluxe edition, I believe it was my birthday, or maybe it was Christmas. I don't remember, but I got the deluxe version, which came with like the guidebook, and it came with like all of the secrets and all of like the little like facts about the world and everything. It's like the Zodiac Age. I played. I I think I played the Zodiac Age more than I did the original, just because the original version of the game that I had was kind of like scratched up and it didn't work as much. After a while, so it's like I think I played the Zodiac Age more. It's in my top, I believe, top 10 or maybe top 20 most played games of all time with the amount of hours that I put in. But I wanted to get to it eventually, but the game is really long, and I have other like JRPGs going on, and I already have them all scheduled out, so I might not get to it for the main channel for a while if I ever decide to, but I might get to it for the VOD channel or maybe this channel, the one I'm streaming on right now, eventually, just to play through because this game is phenomenal. It's like it has some of my favorite games of all not games, characters of all time. It has some of my favorite boss fights of all time. It's really fun. It's like there's a lot of secrets to find. Um, I'm not a big fan of how the Zodiac Age works, just because I don't like all of the classes. It's like I think the classes kind of ruins it a little bit. I kind of would just have like all the license boards be the same way it was in the original, but it's no big deal. It kind of flips on its head, but I hold a lot of fond memories of this, and it's higher on the list just because I played it with my brother. We bonded over it, and I just love this game to death. It's my favorite Final Fantasy game of all time, and it was my first Final Fantasy game of all time. And that's why it holds a special place in my heart. But anyways, moving on to number 10. We're in the bottom 10 of the top 20. Stardew Valley. I'll make this short. You know what Stardew Valley is. It's a farming sim. I've done 3 seasons of it for the channels. Um, and it's so great. Like I'm really I hold very fond memories of the very first time I played it. I believe I played it. I didn't play it originally. I played it, I believe, on Steam. And at first, I was like, first impression was like, I don't like this game. It's not really fun. It's not for me. I don't like it that much. And then eventually I saw like a video of it, of someone playing it. I forget who it was. And I'm like, I'm going to give this a second chance. And then it became one of my favorite games of all time because of how much stuff there was to actually do and see in it. And it's like, I I want to like play through like this game as many times as I possibly can, but getting to perfection is a slog and a half. Like it took me, well, I say it took me 100 episodes. I scheduled 100 episodes for the main channel, to make it this big epic series, and it's like it's going to be like the longest series that I've ever done because Stardew Valley is such a huge game in the gaming space. It's like one, it's praised as one of the best games of all time, basically. And I'm really hopeful that Haunted Chocolatier, the next game by Concerned Ape, comes out sooner rather than later. At least like a beta version of it or something, like or like an early access version of it, because I want to play his next game so bad. He announced it a couple years ago, but he said it was gonna take a while to actually make. I think Stardew Valley took 5 years, 4 years. I don't remember. It took several years for Stardew Valley to actually be released, and then he worked on it for years after, and he like updated it constantly. So it's like Haunted Chocolatier is gonna be like a huge launch when it eventually comes out, but that'll probably be a few years down the line, if at the very earliest. So I'm hopeful that whenever it comes out, it'll be just as great, if not greater, than Stardew Valley. But anyways, moving on. Minecraft. I'm not even gonna talk about it. Minecraft, you know what it is. It's a great game. I've done a lot of videos on it. It's one of the very first games I ever bought with my own money. Um, I remember it was the very first game that I bought with my new computer in 2015, almost 10 years ago to the day, and about, let me see. I believe, no, I didn't mean to do that. God dang it. Thank you so much. I believe the official date is June 3rd, is when I bought Minecraft for the first time. And I remember playing through Minecraft. The very first world that I did, it was I think I talked about it in a previous stream. I think I privated it though. The very first world that I did a I spawned in a swamp, and I didn't really know how biomes worked. I thought it was like, oh, like this is like a waterfront or something. Let's make our base here because I think it would be really cool to have like a waterfront house or something. So I eventually started to build like this whole like little house, and I built like a whole underground section, and I was trying to make a redstone door, and water kept flooding in. It was really bad. I didn't know what I was doing. I had no knowledge of anything about how the game worked. I think I was watching Captain Sparkles play through Minecraft. I think Mayanite was going on at the time. I believe season two specifically was going on, and that was like one of the very first Minecraft playthroughs that I ever watched. Someone play or someone do, and I'm like, I'm gonna get this game myself. This looks like a very fun game, and then I played this game for years and years and years and years. I have like a whole folder of screenshots that I did when I was playing through like Mineplex and like Hypixel and like all those like multiplayer servers. Like I have a bunch of screenshots of like Skyblock and like Hunger Games, or I think the term is survival games, and like all those like mini game stuff. And it's like I have a lot of screenshots. I also have some screenshots of like some like YouTube creators that are like kind of irrelevant at this point. It's like back in like 2015 they were huge though. I'm not gonna name names, but it's like I have a lot of fond memories and a lot of archived memories of Minecraft. But every single time I play Minecraft now, it kind of gets stale for me. If I was playing Minecraft with like friends or something, it would be more fun. But since I've played Minecraft like solo for so many years, and had so many worlds and whatnot, it just kind of got stale for me at some point. But it's like it's still a really fun game to like play and like build stuff and like explore. And it's like with how many times the game has been updated at this point, it's like it seems like Minecraft is going to be a forever game basically. And that's why it's in my top 10. It's at number 9. It's like I just think that if I played the game with friends or if I played it with other people, it would probably be higher on the list. But for now, it's at a comfy number 9. It's still in my top 10. It's still really great. I have a lot of fond memories of it. So anyways, moving on to Hollow Knight at number 8. Hollow Knight, I love this game a lot. It is my favorite Metroidvania. Actually, that's not true. Ori and the Will of the Wisps is my favorite Metroidvania, but it is one of the first Metroidvanias that I ever played. It was really great. I loved it. The combat was smooth. The movement was smooth. Bosses were amazing, but they were hard as hell. And the music is my favorite part about this game. It is haunting. It is atmospheric. It is like triumphant. It is awesome. It is my one of my favorite soundtracks, if not my favorite soundtrack that I've ever listened to from a video game. It's awesome. It's like I I'm hoping Silk Song comes out soon. I want to play Silk Song so bad. It is like in my last stream that I talked about my most anticipated games of 2025. Hollow Knight Silk Song is my most anticipated game of the year. It's like because I've been waiting for it for so long. Like I was saying before, I waited years at this point for this game to come out. It's like when I saw it in the Nintendo Direct, I believe in 2019, I was like, why is this being announced so like soon? Is the game coming out? So it's like I don't know, but it's like um I'm hoping Silk Song is just as great. It's probably not going to be nearly as great at launch, just because I don't think it's going to be nearly as impactful with the amount of content that it has. But since it's taken so long for the game to be developed, I'm hoping that the wait is worth it. Um, but like every single time I go back and I replay Hollow Knight, it's amazing. I played through some mods and some randomizers a couple months ago, just to get hyped for it because I wanted to play Hollow Knight again. I played a revisitation playthrough, and then I did a randomizer, and then I did a modded randomizer, and it was really fun. It was the first time I ever beat the Radiance, and I did some of the Pantheon stuff, and it was like if it wasn't for like all the like extra stuff that the game added through like mods and whatnot, I would never in a million years beat the Radiance. Not once. I've tried my best to actually get through the game itself, and the game is hard as balls to even get through without dying a single time. But it's still really great. Like everything I said, the movement, the combat, the music, the visuals, everything is great about Hollow Knight. And I'm hoping Silk Song improves upon it in every single way. Because the developers knocked it out of the park. They just did. They just did. It's like it's one of my favorite games of all time. Um, and like I just think that Hollow Knight stands the test of time of like perfect games and perfect like development. Silk Song, not so much. Silk Song has been really weird about how they've marketed the game and everything. Um, but I'm hoping that the game come out actually comes out this year. It's like in the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct that came out a couple days ago, they showcased it and it said 2025, so I'm hoping it comes out this year. If it doesn't, I'm going to be upset because this would be like the second or third time that they've said that it was coming out and then they delayed it. It's like games should not be announced so early and shouldn't be having a release window so early if the game is not ready. That is just my take on it. But anyways, moving on to number 7, Unavowed. This game I played a lot, and I mean a lot. It is like in like my top 10 most played games ever, I think. It might be number 11, but it's definitely up there in the amount of hours that I put into it. There was so many routes that you can take and so many different playthroughs you can do. Um, and it took me forever to get all the achievements. And it took me like a full year to get all the achievements because there was so much stuff to do. It's like I put like so many hours into the game and it had such a good story. It's like I was pulled in by the amount of like different things that they were toying with, like all the mythological elements and all the supernatural elements, and like the writing. The writing was phenomenal. It's like I want to. I know that they have some other games like that they made that I have that I want to go like play for myself and see like how Unavowed has kind of been like an evolution of like the point and click genre. And it's like it's my favorite point and click game ever. Um, like in terms of like the writing and the story, it's like Finding Paradise is not really a point and click game, which is why Unavowed is my favorite point and click game. Finding Paradise is kind of more just like an adventure game that you can use a mouse to navigate with. But Unavowed had a really great story and it had a really great writing and it had like so many good elements that I really liked. It had a lot of good plot points. And I had no idea. I found this out way later. I think through like a highlight reel or something or like a voice reel that ProZD was the voice of Kalash. Had no idea. Had no idea. I saw his vines before, but I had no idea that was him. I just thought it was like a deep voice dude. But nope, it was him. Had no idea until like years later. Um, and Unavowed was like one of the very first games that I bought on Steam. It was like one of the first like 10 or 15 games that I bought with my own money on Steam. And I'm like, this is such a great game and it's so underrated too. I don't see many people talking about it and it's like I wish more people would talk about it just because it's so great. It's like I think it's one of the better point and click games. And I saw that there was a an article written very recently, I believe, that was like talking about like the top point and click games of all time, and it was like Unavowed was one of them. And I was like, thank you for including this. It's like it's my favorite point and click game. It's so fun. It's like the puzzle solving and everything is great. I just love the game to death. But anyways, moving on to number 6, Undertale. I don't need to talk about Undertale. Undertale is one of the greatest games ever made. Story, writing, music, just kind of a broken record at this point. Repeating myself. Every game on this list has had one of the elements that I've talked about. Great story, great writing, great music, great visuals. Everything about this game is perfect. Um, it's like there's a lot to do, a lot of content to see, different playthroughs you can do, a lot of different choices, and it's like what makes this great. What makes this game great and unique is that the game kind of knows your choices and it kind of learns and it kind of breaks the fourth wall in a way where it's like really like unseen before. It's like it's kind of like one of the first of its kind of games. Um, it's like you don't really see games kind of do what Undertale did. Um, it's like, yeah, there's Deltarune, which is the parallel story to Undertale, but it's like Deltarune is trying to be its own thing well, kind of like within the same veins as Undertale. Yeah, it has a lot of the same characters and it has a lot of the same like kind of like elements to it, like the music and the writing and everything, because it's all made by Toby Fox and Temmie Chang. But it's like Undertale. I remember watching Jacksepticeye play through Undertale for the first time in my mom's basement, and I remember watching the game and like waiting for the next episode to come out. I remember, I believe the episode where he fought Muffet, the spider dance boss. Um, I was like, oh my god, this is so cool. It's like, this is amazing. I was like, what is this game? I have no idea. And Undertale, I think I talked about it in my most anticipated games video, but it's like, it was one of the first games that I bought. I just don't remember when I bought it. Um, I bought it, I believe, I thought it was like 2016. I don't remember. It's like, if I remember, I'll leave a note in like the description or something. But it is one of the greatest games I've ever played. It's like, I think with the release of the new chapters of Deltarune, it might overtake Undertale a little bit, but for now, Undertale is much better than the first two chapters. We'll see. It might get updated. It might switch. I don't know. We'll see. But anyways, moving on to number 5, Rakuin from 2017. This is a game by Laura Shigihara. And it is a game that has made me cry multiple times every single time I played it. Because it has such a good story and the music is really, really great. It's like Laura made every single piece of music, and it is so beautiful. It is such a touching story. It's probably in my top 5 favorite stories from a video game that I've ever played, just because it is so great. It's like, and I think it was her first like kind of like foray into the like game development world, because she made Mr. Saito, which is a much inferior game in my opinion, but it is still really great because it was kind of a sequel to Rakuin, but it was kind of also kind of of a parallel story to Rakuin. Because it kind of had like all the same characters and kind of had the same charm to it. And it took place in the same locations, I believe. But I liked it. I liked Rakuin a lot more. It had a lot more elements to it that I liked, and it kind of dealt with it in a similar vein to Undertale and Omori. But it was kind of a more like uplifting story, and it was kind of a sad story in a way as well. But I liked it a lot more than those two games. Um, so it's gonna very, very, very tightly squeak in at number 5. Versus Undertale at number 6, just because of the story elements of it. The story elements were so great. I liked it a lot. When I played it for the first time, it made me cry. I was so touched. And then I found out that were making like kind of like a 3D animated series. I think they only made a couple episodes on it and then they stopped making it, but I don't know if development ever stopped on it. Um but I liked it a lot. And that's why it's at number 5. Moving on to number 4, Ori and the Will of the Wisp. The reason why I put this game instead of the original game on this list is because I love the story and the music. The music is my favorite soundtrack I've ever listened to from any piece of media, games, movies, TV shows, and anything. It is so well crafted, well like orchestrated. It is so great. I love every single piece of music in this game. Even the bonus content that wasn't even in the game that they like re-released later on is amazing. I just love the music because the music in any game is the most important part of storytelling and the atmosphere. It's like if the music falls flat, any scene doesn't take itself seriously. That is just my take on that. And Ori and the Will of the Wisps did it perfectly. It is a perfect game, a perfect sequel. It is perfect in every single way. Like the combat is amazing compared to the original. The music, obviously, the story wraps everything up in a nice little bow. It is well crafted. I love it. And it's like it added so many like characters and like a lot of different elements to it. It is perfect and an improvement of every single thing from the original. I love this game so freaking much. It's like when I played it for the first time, I played it on the Switch version, and because I didn't have it on the PC at the time, I didn't have a powerful enough PC. I didn't think the game was gonna run because when I played the original, it wouldn't run on my PC at the time. So I was like, okay, I'm not gonna be able to play this game right now. So I played it on the Switch, and the Switch version is a much inferior way to play it. Now that it's on Steam Deck, I believe it's on Steam Deck. But on PC when I played it, it's like I didn't have any issues at the time. When I played through it for the main channel for the first time, I didn't have I was having issues with it because I didn't have any audio. The video was out of sync, and the whole vibe of it was off. I didn't like it. So I eventually took a break from it. I eventually came back to it because I think I switched from using Twitch Studio to OBS at the time because Twitch Studio wasn't capturing the game properly, and OBS was the only way to really capture it. So that's why, like in 2022, there was a gap between Ori and the Blind Forest and Ori and the Will of the Wisps. There was like a 5-6 month difference from when I played the games, and I'm like, well, I'm not going to be able to get to it in time, so I'm like, I might as well schedule this differently. But once I got to it, I cried again and again and again. When I play through the game, like every single time I cry. It's just a beautifully crafted game. I love it so much. It's so great. I love it to death. I just have no words to describe how great the game is. I saw that the developers were talking about maybe making an Ori 3, and as great as that would be, I don't think it's necessary because it kind of taught Ori and the Will of the Wisps tied everything up in a nice little bow. It's like all the characters kind of moved on in a way where it's like it told the story that it was telling. It ended Ori's story beautifully, and I think that they should just leave the world as it was and never touch it again. And if they make another game, I will be one of the first people to play it, but I don't think it's a necessity at this point. Um, and right now they're making another game anyways, so it's like Ori and the Ori series would probably have to be developed at a way later date if they ever decide to come back to it. But I will be one of the first people if they ever decide to make another game on it. But anyways, moving on to One Shot. At number 3. I love this game. It is one of the very first games that I saw Markiplier play, I believe, when it first came out. And I was like, I fell in love with the game because it was such a good story. This is now just me repeating things, but it's like the story was great, the music was great, the writing was great, obviously. But it is the first game that I ever played for the channel. That like for the main channel on like its own like series that I did, because the first game that I played for the main channel, that the current iteration, was Five Nights at Freddy's 1, but I had no commentary. The audio and the video was really poor quality. I wasn't satisfied with the video, so now it's like I believe unlisted. And I eventually remastered it with commentary and everything. But One Shot was the first game that I ever played with commentary, and like it was for the channel. I streamed it. It was my very first stream that I ever did. because when I played through FNAF, I didn't stream it. So One Shot was the first game that I played on stream live, and I was like, this game is so great, I need to share it with people. And I remember somebody joined the chat, and it's like, oh, you're playing One Shot. This is a really great game. I'm like, I know. I watched Markiplier played it. And that's why I got into the game. And then I played through it on the main channel. And then I took a break because I wanted to take a break between the main game and then the Solstice DLC. So I took about a month or two break, and I came back to it. I had to replay through the entire game because in my initial playthrough, I didn't save maze because I messed something up. I didn't get the water tube. Um, so I had to replay through the entire game again, and then I played through Solstice. And in the Solstice playthrough, I had a lot of issues with the stream quality. So eventually, I replayed through the entire game again. And I posted One Shot in One Shot on the main channel for my birthday in, I believe, 2023. And then in 2024, I believe, I bought it for the Switch. I bought the World Machine Edition because I wanted to play One Shot and get all the like the unlockable stuff and whatnot because I wanted to learn more about the characters and everything without like looking at like the wiki or something. So I bought it on the Switch, and then they announced it was coming to Steam. I'm like, God, come on. So then I eventually played the War Machine Edition on the Steam, and I posted that to the VOD channel. So I have like 4 different playthroughs of One Shot going on at once on all channels. So like I have it on the VOD channel, I have it on my Twitch, I have it on the main channel. I believe I have the Pancake episode on this channel. I have so many playthroughs. It's like One Shot is just one of the greatest games ever made. They're making a new game. I believe with the cafe owner, I believe, as the main character. I forget what his name is, like Ling or something. I thought Ling was a female character. Apparently, it's a male character. Had no idea. Had no idea. I found that out way later on. I believe he's male, anyways. I could be wrong, but I'm hopeful that that game comes out on time because I backed the Kickstarter. Um, because the developers deserve every single bit of support that they can get. It's like I will be one of the first people to play it when it comes out in about 2 years, I believe. I believe they're aiming for 2027, maybe 2028. I don't remember. I would have to look. But One Shot is one of my favorite games of all time. It is so great in every single way. It's a perfect game, and the way that it handles the fourth wall breaks is amazing. It accesses your computer and everything. Great, just great. But anyways, moving on to number 2, Finding Paradise. This was formerly my favorite game of all time because it is a perfect sequel. It is a perfect game, and it is like it was for the longest time the greatest game that I ever played. And the reason why is because it hit me like so hard when I originally played it. I was playing it in my mom's house. I was, I believe, 20 at the time. No, I was 19 at the time. Um, and I bought it because I watched Markiplier, a recurring person, play To the Moon, and I watched his To the Moon playthrough religiously. I would every single weekend, like Friday night, I would binge watch his playthrough of To the Moon. I would make popcorn or like order a pizza or something. I would grab a snack and I would watch this playthrough every single weekend, like all the way through, start to finish. It is one of the greatest games ever. But Finding Paradise, when I played through it like I was waiting for the game to be released. I was up for like all night waiting for the game to release. I was one of the first people to play it. And when I played through it like all in one sitting, I believe. and it is awesome. It is so great. It is like the plot twist in the middle of the game, like was like, what the hell is happening? I have no idea what's going on, and it's like it turned itself on its head compared to the Moon, and I was like emotionally devastated by the end of the game. I was crying. I had so many tissues that I went through. I was I was a mess by the end of the game. And then when I played through it for the channel, I was also a mess because every single time I play through this game, it is beautifully devastating. It is such a great game, and I think it's my favorite game out of the entire To the Moon series. I think the order of the To the Moon series, if you don't include like the mini-sodes or a bird story or whatever, because those are really short experiences, it would be Finding Paradise, the beach episode, To the Moon, and then Imposter Factory. Imposter Factory followed Finding Paradise, but I was not a fan of the story elements of it. It didn't hit me nearly as hard, which is really disappointing because it came out on my birthday. It came out on my 23rd birthday, I believe. And it was like, oh, this is a great birthday gift. But I wasn't a fan of it. I just didn't like the writing of that game. I think Finding Paradise handled everything brilliantly. And then when the beach episode came out, it blew me away because of the plot twist at the very end of the game. It's like some people pointed out to me, it's like, oh, it was kind of like talked about in Imposter Factory, but it's like I didn't notice it because it just didn't, it wasn't clear enough. It just wasn't concise. I didn't understand what was going on in that game. But everything in Finding Paradise was perfect. I just liked the writing more. I liked the story more. Like the plot twists were handled beautifully. I just liked the game a lot. It's like that's why it was my favorite game for 7 years, almost 8 years. Because I finished Until Then, which is my number one game, which I'll get to in a second, way later. And it's like I think that it's like for a long time, Finding Paradise was my favorite game of all time. But anyways, moving on to my number one game of all time, Until Then. Like I this is again a broken record, handled perfectly. Music, story, writing, everything was perfect. And the reason why it was such a great game is because you didn't know where the game was going. It's like until like it became clear at the very end of the game that it's like you were kind of being steered in a certain direction by like your past basically. Your future was your past and your past is your future. And I did end up getting spoiled halfway through because I was trying to figure out how long the game was, and people was like kind of spoiling the ending of it. It's like, oh, by like the end of Act 3 or whatever, it was kind of messy, but it's like I loved the game so much. I got attached to the characters, and the only downside of my playthrough of Until Then is the first half of the playthrough, I was not happy with the quality. I think I talked about this earlier. It's like the quality of the game was so bad. It's like I was running it on a bad PC because my PC was dying on me, and like the rain and like all of the elements going on was kind of making it slow down, and it was laggy, and then the audio was really loud and unbalanced, and it was bad. It was just such a bad first like impression um that I was trying to give. But the second half of the playthrough blew me away even more than the first half because, like I said, you didn't know where the game was going. And then after you got through like the end of Act 2, which is my like the greatest gaming moment I've ever witnessed in any piece of gaming media, anything. It was so well handled in such a well written sequence. I was blown away by it, and I was like, I want to play more of this game. I want to get through this game. I want to see everything this game has to offer to me. So I finished it, and I was like, okay, this is not my favorite game of all time, because it is so well done. I love that game so much. And it's like, if you didn't notice, there was a pattern to my top 10 pixel art, 2D art. It's like everything minimalistic. If you can make a game that like impacts the player in such a way, doing the least amount of effort, you have such a great game on your hand. Because I said in the video that I made on the greatest gaming moment I've ever witnessed, I don't need fancy graphics. I just need a great story. That is the brunt of this whole thing. I just need great story, great music, great writing, great characters. I want to be attached to the universe. I want to be like involved. I want to make sure I want to like do everything I possibly can, see everything I possibly can. Because if you make a good first impression, you have such a great game on your hands. And until then, handled it masterfully. And that is why it is my number one game of all time. It is so well done. And I urge anyone to go play this game and to go support any of the developers I've talked about, any of the games that I've talked about today. It's like, I want these games to be more recognized than they are, because some of the games are either like well praised and well like talked about and whatnot, but there's some sleeper hits that you just don't know about that like are so great, but some people just don't like. But I have such fond memories of all the games that I've played over the years. It's like, I'm almost 27 years old, and although I haven't played every single game on every single console over the years, from what I played, I've had such a great experience with the games that I've done, the games that I've played, the playthroughs that I've made on the channels. It's like, I love video games. Video games are my favorite piece of entertainment. I'm not a movies guy. I'm not a TV show guy. It's like, if they make a video game adaptation of something, I will more than likely see it if I played the game before. Like, for example, like the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. Played those games a ton. Love the story, love the universe, love the series, love everything about it. So I went to go see the movie adaptation. It was great. I loved it. It's like, it might not be my favorite movie of all time, but it's still great. It's like, and for what it's worth, it's like, I think they handled it great. It's like, as much as they could have. I think if they were still like in the initial like studio and the initial heads of it, I think they would have had a very watered down movie that was like not as really as great as it could have been. But like, now that they've proven that they can make a successful adaptation, might as well make it a full on series. So that's it. That's all I really wanted to talk about. I'm going on 2 hours now. I was gonna get to editing the project I wanted to work on, but I might end up doing that later. Because I kind of went off on a tangent of like games and whatnot, and then I realized it's like, I don't really want to edit. It's gonna take me a while. I don't really want to deal with copyright. It's not really something I want to deal with, because the last gaming stream that I did a couple days ago, excuse me, had a lot of copyright issues with it. I didn't realize that. I thought it was safe to create content on it, but apparently not. So I eventually had to turn the music off on subsequent playthroughs, and it just made it extremely awkward. So I'm probably not going to continue that playthrough um, um, live anyways. Um, so yeah. All right, that's all I really wanted to talk about. It's like, I'm getting a bit tired. I need to go get ready for bed. Plus it's getting late, so it's like, I went a lot longer than I wanted to, but I'm hoping that I made a little bit of sense on like documenting everything. And like, I'll make this its own video, to go over. I might make it a podcast episode. I don't know, but I'm gonna end it here. So